Welcome to Tabletop Tactics. Coming up in today's battle...
Yeah! The Ravager of Doom.
Don't talk to me.
It's all very complicated.
That's it, baby.
Team Freeview, welcome to Tabletop Tactics and this debut of the Drukhari.
I mimed you. I didn't do my own laugh. I just mimed.
Yes.
I knew it was coming. You see.
No one can beat my epic Drukhari laugh.
It's true.
So this is the space vampires. We are about to emerge into real space. We step forth from the gates of Commorragh and into real space to be faced with the smelly Death Guard.
Smelly invaders.
So, with no further ado, let's see if I can lay waste to this Death Guard. This is a spicy meatball today. 2 competitive lists. A little taste of our league reports coming soon. So if you like harder lists and harder games, this one's for you. If you like Drukhari, this one's for you. If you like Death Guard, this one's for you. So stay tuned, give us a subscribe, and we'll be with the lists in just a moment. Drukhari fans, it's time to unleash this list. So, just before I get into the list, a couple of things I'm going to get out of the way. Yes, I'll probably do a separate video on my own thoughts, but if you haven't already seen it, you can check out our faction focus with a full review, or highlight review if you like, of the Drukhari Codex with Chef and Beards. That's also available here on YouTube and on our website. But yes, there are some things they didn't cover, which I would love to go over, but I'll do that in a separate video. For now, I'm not running a Realspace raid detachment because we don't own any racks. I never painted any racks, which means that I cannot run that detachment. I was always predominantly a Kabalite / witch cult player anyway. In this instance, we've got a witch cult game with some Kabal mixed in over on demand. I'm running a pure Kabalite force with some mercenaries, some blades from hire today. So I wanted to show you guys this. This is a pretty competitive list from a Kabalite point of view. So, you know, let me know what you guys think. I'm really looking forward to showing you what it can do. We have a single battalion. I do have an Archon, the Spider himself, leading this battalion. He is the Warlord. I've given him the Hatred Eternal Warlord trait, which means that he's rerolling his hits and wounds, which is savage when you combine that with his Husk Blade and Blast Pistol, and that Husk Blade is upgraded to a Djin Blade, which is now a whopping damage 3. And on top of that, I've made him a Master Archon, because this is a thing now. So for plus 15 points, he can have a Splintered Mind, Splintered Genius, and that basically means that he can fight twice, once per game. I haven't chosen the Warlord trait or the Relic that goes with it, purely because for this loadout, I think it's better for the Spider, and it makes him a real nasty piece of work in combat, which is pretty much what I imagine the Spider would be like with all of those homunculus grafted mecha tendrils. So looking forward to using him. So that's him. I then have in the second HQ, Drazhar. Drazhar was a weapon before. He's absolutely disgusting now. Dare I say an auto take? Maybe. Unless you're in a Realspace raid, then you can't quite fit him in. You're going to have to take him as an auxiliary choice or whatever. But probably still worth it. But there we go, I've got Drazhar. You'll see what he does in the game. Moving over to the troops, I have 5 units of Kabalite Warriors. I didn't have the points for Trueborn because you can upgrade a unit in this one. And because I'm running minimum 5-man units, probably not worth it anyway, to be completely honest. You're better off with your Trueborn running it as a bigger squad and then upgrading your special weapons. My 5 units of Kabalite Warriors do have blasters today, which have benefited from a slight points decrease. So it's kind of, but the base cost went up. So they're kind of the same as they've always been in many ways, but they've got a better profile and they can actually fight. They've got blade masters now. I mean, they're not good in combat, but you know, they're not witches, but they can at least mix it up a little bit. So that's pretty cool. Then we have the elites. This is the heart of the army in many ways. Going with Drazhar and the Spider, I have a unit of 9 incubi. Why 9? Well, 9 means that I can fit those 9 plus Drazhar plus the Spider onto a single raider, because they now hold 11 instead of 10. We've finally got space for our characters. Thank you. Yes. So that's really cool. So I've got a unit of 9 incubi. They're absolutely brutal in combat. They're not as good against someone like Death Guard, funnily enough, because of the damage reduction, but they still have the opportunity to do damage 3 on 6s. So, you know, let's see what they do, right? We then have, I was always a fan of these. Long time Spider fans will know that I've been a fan of Mandrakes for a long time. Now they finally have the rules which they should have always had, which is kind of like your infiltration style rule. I think these are an incredible unit. I'm actually running 30 Mandrakes today, 3 units of 10. That's not very nice because I think that they're that good. But if you're going pure Kabalites and you're not affording yourself, you know, the ability to dip into things like Witch Cult and Coven for your combat needs, Mandrakes are a really, really, really good unit, and I would strongly consider them, even if it's just one little toolbox unit in every Drukhari force. They're just really useful. So 30 of them, so you get to see that spectacle today. I then go over to heavy support, where I have triple Ravager, 3 Ravagers. This is a bit of a classic. You know, in some ways they're not as good as they used to be because they're not core, so you're not getting all of the rerolls or access to rerolls that you used to be able to get. But when a base Dark Lance is D3 plus 3 damage now, that's enough to raise anybody's eyebrows. I'm running 3, I need the anti-tank. My horde is covered by the Mandrakes. That's what they're there for, because I'm not running Venoms, as you're about to find out. Because we go into my dedicated transports, and I've got 6 Raiders, all with a Dark Lance. So this army is bristling with Dark-like technology, and I'm running them all as Obsidian rows, which is awesome. Now, I could have shown you Blackheart, but Chef's running some Blackheart over on the on-demand game, so I thought I'd show you something different. Obsidian Rose is probably my favorite Cabal currently, especially if you're running something like Raiders. It gives me extra range, plus 6 inches on my rapid fire assault and heavy weaponry, plus I can re-roll a single wound roll per unit, which means that every Drukhari player knows the old blasters in the Kabalite Warriors squad, they were like you paid for them as a token gesture, but they never did anything because you failed to wound. Now I can re-roll that wound. Huzzah! So really looking forward to actually seeing the Dark Light do something, and this army's got a lot of it. But guess what? Against Death Guard, who are arguably one of the best armies, if not the best army in the game right now, they're gonna need it. Let's see if I can deliver. It's the Death Guard coming up next.
All right, Death Guards fans, I've brought a different type of list today, which I think is actually quite gross. I'm really excited to see how it plays out. It's a bit of it's an educated test run of a list like this. I think it can do some serious work against some armies, but I also think that the Drukhari definitely, especially with the list Lawrence has brought today, have some answers for it. So I'm interested to see how the whole thing plays out. So, first of all, I'm not even running a battalion today. There's no battalions at all. I am running a Vanguard and a Spearhead Detachment. So, in my Spearhead Detachment, I have a Demon Prince with wings. He is my Warlord. I'll give him Arch Contaminator, and I'm going to give him the Separating Plate for the 2+ save, which is really nice. And there's a little bit of mortal wound action that he can do. It's not as good as it used to be, but the 2+ save on a Demon Prince, just to make them that extra survivable, I think is pretty key. So we've got him in there. We then move over to my heavy support choices, of which there are 6. So I'm running 3 Plague Burst Crawlers with the Entropy Cannons and Heavy Sluggers, and then I'm running 3 Defilers as well with the Scourge and the twin Las Cannons. Now, because I've got so many I've got so many Demon Engines in this list, I'm actually going to run the Plague Company, the Poxmongers here. Which is, yeah, it's, as far as the Warlord traits and everything, it's not that great, which is why I've gone for Arch Contaminator, which is something I probably would have used anyway, to be fair. But what it does give me is access to a stratagem that allows my demon engines to fire their blast weapons into combat. And it also gives me a +1 to hit when I'm firing against units that are within engagement range of it. Now, considering these guys are the bulk of my army, that could be really key, and it just gives me a little bit of extra defense against things like if hordes and things get thrown into me, or elite infantry get thrown into me. I've actually got quite a lot of guns hitting on a really good ballistic skill to try and shoot my way out of it. That's the thinking, at least, anyway. We'll see how it goes. That's more of the experimental type part of it. I may well go back to a different play company, but for now I think it's a decent choice given how the rest of the list is built. We then move over to my Vanguard. So I've got a Malignant Plaguecaster in there, and I've given him the Relic that I can never remember the name of, the Periapt, the something Periapt. You'll see it in the list below. I use it all the time, but for some reason I can never remember how to say it properly or what it's even called. Revolting Periapt? Anyway, I've got that. So I know an additional psychic power. I can't cast one, but I do know one. And after a successful psychic test, I can regain D3 wounds on him as well. You can only use that once per game, but if you get that double 6 perils off, for example, and it's a super smite, and you go, yeah, I'm going to risk that because I know I'm going to get D3 wounds back, I found it really helpful a few times for him. We then move over to the elite choice. I have a unit of 7 Blightlord Terminators. Oof, yes. One of them has a flail, and the rest of them have axes and the combi bolters in there. I have 5 Death Shroud Terminators. I haven't used them for a while, but I thought a little bit of extra combat in this list could be really helpful, and they're just really good. And then I've taken the Foul Blight Spawn in there as well. I've given him the Revolting Stench Rat, so I've got the 6-inch aura where you cannot fight first even if you've charged, or despite whatever rules that you have. It's an incredibly powerful relic to have if you're running things like Terminators. It really makes your opponent think twice about charging into combat with you. So, as you can see, I'm trying to make it, because Death Guard are all about holding the midboard and having as much armor as you can just to outlast your opponent. So what I'm really trying to do with using that combination of the Plague Companies and these relics is to shut down people actually wanting to get into combat with me. That's the thinking behind it anyway. Let's see if it works. That's the list. It's a spectacle, that's for sure. It's 2,000 points. I have no OBSEC, so that could be a problem. And if you play properly against a list like this, you can kind of deny me points. But also, if you want to get that close to me, I'm going to hurt you. Like, I want you to come towards me to the mid-board. I think it's pretty nasty. There is no Mortarion. I think lists like this, though, could be a good sort of alternative if you don't feel like using Mortarion. Let's see how it plays. I'm really excited to see how it goes today. We'll be back with the mission in just a sec.
Today's mission is Battle Lines, a Strike Force mission from the Warhammer 40,000 Grand Tournament Mission Pack. 4 predetermined objective markers are placed onto the battlefield. The primary objective is Take and Hold, a progressive mission where players score 5 victory points for each of the following conditions they achieve at the end of each of their command phases: holding 1 or more objectives, holding 2 or more objectives, and holding more objectives than their opponent. These are cumulative and cannot be scored in the first battle round. Each player also chooses 3 secondary objectives that can score up to 15 points each. Gentlemen, may the dice gods be with you.
The spider has emerged from the webway. They use the webway, don't you? That's where you live. He's emerged from... Oh, it's done a weird zoom there. Oh. No, I fixed it. There you go. Just adding some effects in.
Oh!
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're living in the webway, and they thought, we're going to come out and have a fight with the smelly invaders today.
That's right.
The Death Guard are arrayed. My Demon Engine army here, will it have the muscle to withstand all of this dark light? I don't know is the answer. We are all about to find out on this crazy adventure. As you can see, the mandrakes here have they've used their infiltration abilities, looking to want to try and get closer to my Terminators. The fools! The fools! And that's it, really. I mean, you saw the deployment, you know the mission. Is there anything you'd like to add before, as my guest, I invite you to roll to see who will go first?
Oh, you do? Thank you.
Yes.
No, this is one of those going to be one of those savage matchups, guys. I think it's really tough. Like, I know people are going to go, oh, you got all that dark light, but the 5-up in vulnerable saves and then damage reduction on plate burst crawlers, it all makes a tough nut to crack. So let's see.
It will add up.
Let's see.
All right, very good.
Drukhari. I rolled a 6. I open with the Void Spiders in traditional fashion.
Excellent. Well, let's see what I can roll in our new dice trays here. Now, I've rolled a 4, so that does mean you're going first.
Yep, I have to.
A problem for me, but here we are. Let's see what happens. Let's see if I am discussing the Resilient. We'll be back after the Spider's movement phase. Turn 1 movement phase for the Drukhari is complete, and we have moved forward into the center of the board and around the board here to make sure we've got line of sight on multiple targets. Dark light is being powered up. Well, I wonder what that sounds like. I think it's like a whirring noise. It's not like a it's like a
Why? It's like it should be this sort of searing
something like
some
that.
sort of horrible thing.
It's gross, whatever it is.
Yeah.
No one likes it. The mandrakes have come out and they are now holding that objective. There was an advance roll that was re-rolled. Where did that happen?
So I rolled 2 advance rolls. In the end, I got a 4 initially on this unit, which was fine. Just to get them from behind this cover. Methodology was, well, we're counting these, by the way, I don't think we've mentioned, these are sort of industrial terrain.
So they're dense.
Which is dense, so, because that's cool. So I figured I was going to get -1 to hit on Terminators anyway, so why not?
May as well, right?
This unit was sort of packed in around here in order to get them into the ruin so that I could see targets. I also had to advance them, but I rolled a 1 initially. That wasn't quite enough for what I want to do with that unit, so I re-rolled and I got a 4. So I spent a command point, I gained 1 in my command phase, and I spent 1. That's what happened.
Right. Very good.
Nothing else.
Nothing else.
No.
Okay, and then we've pushed forward on this side of the board with all the Raiders and the Ravagers as well. Okay, and the Spider has prepared himself, and that's where the Incubi and stuff are.
They're hiding behind that terrain.
They're ready to do some counter charges and what have you.
So just to let you know, if we're on the base outside the wall, we're not counting it as being in the terrain, we're counting it as being behind it. So that vehicle is technically obscured now, depending on what's looking at it, obviously. Some things could perhaps move in if they wanted to. But yes, Spider and Incubi in the middle center to try and counter.
Very good.
Look, this is an interesting one. It's a spicy meatball, everyone.
It's a spicy meatball.
It's a spicy meatball.
I think we were talking about this off camera. I think when it's the first turn advantage is still very big in 9th, and I think you getting first turn is pretty key. But again, if it had gone my way, it could have been also equally as powerful.
The problem is you've got a lot of those mortars are ignore line of sight. A lot of your vehicles move quite quickly anyway. And now some people say, oh, well, what about the board? There's not enough obscuring terrain. There's actually an immense amount of obscuring terrain. But the problem is you can't hide everything, especially not on like a big flotilla, the dark flotilla like this, and you've got big war machines. So there are some things which are hidden. But you can't hide everything, and you're going to take casualties, especially from just ignore line of sight mortars anyway. I think those Ravagers, would have been in a lot of trouble, and I kind of really need them to fire off this turn. So going first was probably necessary. Maybe not. I could have gotten lucky. You never know. But look, let's see how this game plays out.
Well, look, there is no psychic. The Dark Kin do not use that foul energy. So we're going to go straight into the shooting phase. We'll be back in a moment. We kick off with the Spider's command barge. The Ravager? No.
Raider,
and the other ones are Ravagers.
That's right.
Yes, very good. Well, I'm glad you're here to help. Right, all he can see is this guy over here, so I have put foul smoke screen upon him. So -1 to hit there. Let's see what we can do.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see what we can do. So the first of the Dark Light technology hits on a 4.
Cool.
It wounds on a 6.
Okay,
Didn't
great.
need the Obsidian Rose there. We did not need it.
I do get a 5-up invulnerable here.
The Obsidian Rose.
I fail on a 2.
Fair enough. So now, new Dark Light, which is really cool. It's D3 plus 3.
Very nice.
I do roll a 1.
Sure, so he's taking 4 wounds.
But given the fact I've got the damage through, this is a moment where I will use a CP, because I just want to maximise the damage. I rolled a 1 anyway.
Cool.
So
he's taken 4 wounds so far.
Taken 4 damage.
So he's down to 10 wounds remaining. Very good. Raider number 2 now. Can he find his mark?
The Dark Light of Commodus. It's a hit.
Okay.
That would be a failed wound, but with Obsidian Rose, we re-rolled into a 1, so nothing. So we tried to highlight Obsidian Rose, it didn't work. Cool. So,
do you know what you're doing next, or do you need to think now?
No, I've got the unit inside. The unit inside normally wouldn't be in range with the blaster and the Splinter rifles. They wouldn't be in range of the blaster, they would be with the Splinter rifles. But because of Obsidian Rose, I extend the range, so I'm going to fire the blaster at him.
Okay, very good.
Blaster! It's a miss because of your -1. 4 rifles. 1 hit. Needs a 6 to wound. No wounds there. Okay. Cool. That's that Raider and Unit 5.
Very good. The first of the Ravagers on the far side of the board there. Changing target, firing into this guy here. Okay, very good. So,
yes.
No, not going through dents or anything here, so we'll be hitting on 3.
That's it. Triple hits.
Very nice.
Satisfying. Drukhari. 2 wounds and Obsidian Rose does go off. So that's 3 wounds.
Good. 3 wounds. So looking for 5s and 6s here.
Obsidian Rose.
I don't make a single 1. Okay. Given you've already done 9 damage. That is a tough one, actually. Because he will probably die now.
Yeah. So I suppose it comes down to, do you want to try and save him or try and save him?
Probably, because he's got the -1 at this stage, I'm going to try and save him.
Yeah.
So yeah, there
it's a tough one, that.
Yeah.
What would you do, guys? Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so I'm going to roll my damage now.
Yep.
Okay, so it's 3d3 plus 9.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, he's destroyed.
Cool.
That is outstanding work from the Ravager.
Yep.
My goodness.
So here we go. Does he explode? No, he does not. But that is 1 down. That is just from 1 Ravager. That's a bit unlucky and a huge blow. The Mandrakes now will be firing their whatever weapons they've got into
Bale Blasts.
the Defiler. Oh, we lost focus there, but it was a nice shot for a moment, I promise. Right. So, do your worst, sir.
All right, so you are foul smoke.
I have a foul smoke screen. Just like me.
It's like you. Right, we're hitting on 4s.
Yes.
This is the Bale Blasts.
Bale Blast. And 6s do mortal wounds, is that right?
Only on the to wound roll.
Only on the to wound
Yeah, so I rolled your -1 to hit really paid off. But if I get any 6s, right, there's a mortal wound in addition, and then I get 3 wounds as well. So that's 4 wounds at -1.
4 wounds at -1.
You need to make saves for, and then 1 mortal wound.
1 mortal wound. Okay, cool. So looking for 4s here. I make 2, I fail 2, so
you lose 3 wounds in total.
He's down to 7 remaining.
A tough little critter, that one. Tough little critter.
All right, the 3rd Ravager you fired.
Third Raider.
3rd Raider we fired over here. Okay, very good. Can he be brought down?
Dark Light into the Obsidian Rose. That is a miss. I'm going to fire the unit inside. Going to fire the blaster at you here, and the rifles will actually fire over. Do you know what? They're going to... Yeah, they'll fire at these Death Shroud just to try and make some sort of a little dent.
Sure, why not?
Why not? That is 3 hits there. That's very exciting.
Yes.
That is 2 wounds, because these are poison weaponry. So
they always wound on 4s.
They always wound on 4s.
Okay, and it's -1 now, is that right?
No, Splinter cannons are, but these are a humble Splinter rifle.
Okay, very good. So these will be 2-up saves.
We take a win. You know, that was like the best result I could ever hope for. Blaster! That is a miss.
That is a miss.
Okay.
Okay, very good.
Cool.
Ravager number 2 now firing into this Defiler.
Yes, sir.
So -1 to hit here. Might make a difference.
Triple Dark Lance. 2 hits.
Makes no difference at all.
Yeah! Your toughness 7?
Yep, 2
That
wounds.
is 2 wounds anyway.
Okay, so I really do need to make some demon saves here.
There's 2 wounds.
So
One
I failed
fails,
one, and I'll just re-roll
and
this because the other one off the board. 2
fails.
failed.
Do you
Yeah,
want
at
to
this stage
CP
I'm
that?
going to use a CP.
Okay, puts him down to
yes, because if I
5.
can save him, it means you can't kill him with him. Oh wow, the new dice try. Okay, so it does pay off.
Okay, D3 damage.
+3, so he takes
Okay,
4.
so he takes 4 damage.
So he's down to 3 remaining.
3 remaining, okay.
Ravager number 4 now firing over here. Can he be finished off?
Raider number
or
4.
Raider number 4. Oh, forget it.
Because this is a firing lane here, and I
Yeah.
can see his little Leggington here.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to let you guys know, that is a hit, sir. Just to let you guys know, I've got to re-roll into the tray here. That is a wound, sir.
Okay, needing a demon save here. 5 or 6.
By the way,
Yeah.
we should house rule that. Generally, I should let you guys know, if we roll off the tray, it's not on the board, so we have to re-roll it. However, is that how you want to play it in this game?
Yeah, sure.
Ben, yeah, because otherwise I still would have re-rolled with Obsidian Rose into the
so
wound
it
anyway.
kind of-
But
yeah, it
if
worked
it's
out.
off the board, guys, no matter what the result is, we're going to re-roll it into the tray.
Yes,
All right?
very good.
Cool.
Okay, here we go. So, needing 5 or 6. Really needing a 5 or 6. It's a 1, of course. Okay, so he's destroyed.
He is destroyed. I do not need to roll the damage.
So, no point in rolling for an explosion there. Okay, very good. The final Ravager, now that the targets have opened up, will be going into the Plague Burst Crawler.
Yes.
Let's see if he can survive.
Yes. Triple hit.
Okay, very
The
nice.
Ravager of Doom.
So
You are
forced to
toughness
wound on
8
this
though,
one, though.
because this is a cool thing. So 1 wound and an Obsidian Rose. I have to re-roll because it's off the tray. I understand that's unfortunate
Yeah,
because it was
that's
a 3.
fine. I don't mind.
It is a wound.
Okay, very good. So, double 5 and 6 needed. I don't get a single one.
Okay, it's instead of 3 damage, it'll be 2 damage now.
Yep.
So 2d3 in addition to this. I do roll the minimum again.
Okay,
so
it's taking
it's
6 wounds.
It's 6 wounds, yeah.
So he's down to 6. So you have bracketed him, which is still very, very good.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. We come to the Mandrakes, and they're now firing into my Terminators.
Yes, the Black Lord Terminators.
Good. So 4s, they did advance.
1's off the tray, / off the board, / who knows. Oh, he knocked the dice over. Whatever it was, that's fine. So we're hitting you on 4s.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4. Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, we're having,
Okay.
everyone's just enjoying themselves. It's a good time.
Right, 5s and 6s. Right, 6 is a mortal wound, so you lose 1 mortal wound. Your toughness 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
But
I
then
only
you
do...
always- Oh, so they're not poison.
No.
No. Okay.
So you need to take 2 saves at -1.
Sure. So,
But you're behind a barricade, so you
yeah,
get +1.
It's
Yep.
2s. They're fine.
Lovely, so
Okay.
1 mortal wound down.
One's lost a mortal wound.
Okay,
very
I'm now
good.
going to go over to the 2nd unit, who's going to
okay.
do the exact same thing.
Sure.
All right, and then I'm going to use a cool stratagem, which used to be called Fire and Fade. Now it's called something else.
Okay.
It means that I can move.
Yeah.
It means that I can move 7 inches after the fact.
Very good.
Now hitting on 4s. Another hideous roll.
Yeah, that one didn't work out too well. But if
not-
you roll a bunch of 6s now, it doesn't really matter.
Well, I get another mortal
1.
wound, and just 1 wound. So
Okay.
1 save.
1 save, so needing a 2 up.
Okay.
Kill a Terminator.
Yay!
Very good. We come to the unit inside of this Raider now, firing into my Terminators.
Yes, sir.
This is very good.
Blaster!
Very
Blaster! Blaster! No.
It's a miss.
4 rifles. 2 hits. 1 poisonous round is a wound, sir.
Okay, and these are at -1, so...
No, no minus, mate.
Okay, so this will be 2 up anyway. I do make it.
You're all good.
Just,
Okay.
I'm not rolling very well today. Okay.
Right,
very good.
now we'll do the units inside these 2 raiders, and
Okay.
I'll fire the raiders afterwards.
Sure.
So again, blaster into your Terminators. Hits, blaster. Your toughness 5?
Yes.
I'll use the Obsidian Rose rule. No, I miss.
Okay.
4 rifles. 3 hits. 2 wounds with
2
poison.
wounds. Okay, 2 ups. Take them both.
Cool. And then the other unit in the other raider, blaster, misses. 4 rifles. That's 2 hits and 2 wounds.
2 wounds. Okay, here we go. You do take a wound. Okay, very good.
So they're down to 2 wounds a pop.
Yeah,
one's got 2 wounds.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So I didn't kill as many of the Terminators as I wanted to.
That's all right. You killed 2 defilers.
But yeah, I'm not complaining. So now I'm going to. I'm absolutely not complaining at all. I think I've had the right side of the luck for sure. Yeah,
definitely.
But I've got 2 Dark Lances remaining on these raiders. The Terminators are a problem, but you've got 6 wounds left on this.
Correct.
Oof. Woo. Do you have a 4-up invuln on those Terminators?
On the Terminators 4, yes.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to put a Dark Lance into that Plague Burst Crawler.
Yeah, I would.
That's a miss.
Okay.
I'm going to put the other Dark Lance into that Plague Burst Crawler. That's a hit.
Okay.
Your Toughness 8, Obsidian Rose. That is a failed wound. Okay. That is, you'll be happy to know, my army shot.
Yeah.
The thing which used to be called Fire and Fade is now called Never Stationary. It did cost me 2 CP.
That's probably worth it.
But puts me back over there, which is really neat because you've got craters and everything to try and charge through.
Yeah, it will, I don't think it'd be a big old charge, but I'm probably going to have a punt at it at this stage.
I can respect that.
Really, really powerful turn there from the Drukhari. You can see when you tool them up just how powerful they can be. Losing 2 defilers, look, I expected that when I didn't go first, but to also lose 6 wounds off the Plague Burst Crawler, that stung. That stung a lot.
Yeah, I sort of did it with a Ravager spare, which math-wise shouldn't quite work out that way.
Shouldn't have quite been.
You didn't quite make enough saves, is what happens. Yeah,
exactly. But, you know, look, that's a dice game. I'm still going to hit you back relatively hard.
Oh, yeah, you are. Like, this is, it's not over. You're going to destroy some boats now. If you get the charges off, I could lose a lot of mandrakes.
Yeah.
This is an interesting little parcel. We'll unravel it.
It could be. Well, look, let's see what happens. We'll be back after my movement phase.
Turn 1 for the Death Guards. The command phase has gone by. A command point has been secured.
We waved at it. It went by. It was a good time.
And we are now in the end of the movement phase. The Plague Burst Crawlers forming a formidable column there at the center of their deployment zone.
We're not mucking about, Lawrence.
No, the Defiler comes round the husk of this ruin here. I imagine it's on fire. Smoke billowing out of it, and the Defiler comes round the corner and says, hello. Over here we have the Demon Prince. The Prince of Demons with the Death Shroud and the Blight Lord Terminators, supported by their ensemble of characters, moving towards the objective over here, which the Mandrakes are guarding with 3 raiders just behind them. What an epic sight.
Yep.
So there will be a psychic phase with the Death Guards. Important for Bone to hit back pretty hard.
Yep.
Obviously, I'm set up holding 3 of the objectives currently on the battlefield. 1, 2, just holding that with the raider there, and 3 with a couple of units of mandrakes.
Not much I can do about this one.
No.
Unless, no, there's nothing I can do about it. Absolutely nothing. But that's fine. If I get a cheeky charge off over here, though, I think I need a 9, maybe an 8.
Yep.
I will remeasure because with the Death Shroud, I can avoid
the crater.
The crater
is what you're claiming. Yes.
It's not even a claim. It's not even a claim. It's a fact. In fact, it's a scientific fact.
Silence, heretic. We are the noblest faction in the Warhammer 40,000 universe. We are the Drukhari. We're in the psychic phase, and it is the Demon Prince. Curse of the Leper going against the nearest unit, which is the Mandrake unit just inside the crater.
Correct.
Okay, so what do you need to cast this, sir?
A 6.
Okay.
So this is my first game with the Trough.
Yes.
Okay, the Trough of Power. So I need to practice some new ways of rolling to find, because I feel that what happened was in that last turn,
you lost a bit of power?
I can't anymore. And it's quite stressful.
I see.
So I want to put the power into it. So I have to imbue it with my psychic third eye.
Yes, good luck.
Here we go. Needing a 6. It's a 9.
It's a 9. That goes off. I can't deny.
You can't.
No.
So you now take 7 dice. Now they're toughness 3, aren't they?
They're toughness 3.
Okay.
The
So
mandrakes.
4s are mortal wounds now.
Very nice.
On them. Do you understand that?
I do, actually.
Are you sure?
I think so.
All right, here we go. Looking for 4s. Psychic power. It's
Got
pretty
4.
good.
Very nice. So 4 are slain. Power from pain is different these days, so it's not a 6-up ignore wound. In fact, it's a flat 6-up invulnerable save. So, okay, I shall remove 4 and we'll be back. It's now time for the Malignant Plague caster to cast Putrescent Vitality. Is this on the Blightlord Terminators or the Death Shroud?
The Death Shroud.
The Death Shroud, which would make them toughness 6.
Yes.
You're concerned about my Incubi's strength in combat, I hear. You're asking me questions about
Yeah,
the
you're going to
old
ask a question. So, because
Incubi.
they get the +1 to wound.
With Drazhar,
With Drazhar.
nearby, yes.
If I put them to toughness 6, you'll
Yeah.
be wounding on 4s
Yeah.
rather than 3s. Now
That's
that could
true.
be potentially a big difference, Lawrence.
It could be.
We'll have to see. Are you ready?
Yes.
So I need a 7 for this, but I've been using my psychic powers here.
4, 5, 6, 7. There you go.
I figured it out.
You figured it out.
That's how you do
The
it.
trough has worked for you, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I have 1 more power to cast from him. I'm not in Pestilent Fallout here, guys. No one's within 12.
Sure.
Do I want the -1 to hit or do I want to smite? I don't know. I don't know, actually. Let me have a think.
Okay. We now have... What is being cast? Putrescent Vitality,
No, you-
the
why-
Cloud of Flies?
No, not cloud. You've just Miasma of Pestilence.
Miasma of Pestilence, yes.
Yeah.
Being cast on this central Plague Burst Crawler. That would be a -1 to hit, folks.
It will be needing a 6. Okay.
He needs a 6.
Here it is.
He needs a 6. He's done well so far. He's 5, 6, 7, done it again. The blessed number.
Blessed number.
Okay, so it's the full house. That's your psychic phase complete.
That's it, baby.
Plague Burst Crawler is a -1 to hit. That's the fresh one, folks, not the damaged one in the front.
In the middle.
Okay, let's see how this pans out then. A little bit of shooty shoot, and then maybe some chargy charge.
And a wooty woot.
In the hoot.
Yeah.
I hear it on the wind. The Vermid whispers. A stratagem has been employed. 1 CP, bringing you back down to 5. That's put on your Blightlord Terminators, which gives you +1 to hit.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. So we're all firing into you guys here because they always had a -1 to hit anyway, so it just puts me back to 3.
Yes.
Which is nice. And this cover wouldn't make any difference anyway because the only one who he doesn't have a gun, so
That's right.
that's that. So it will be now 3s rerolling 1s to hit you, Lawrence.
Yep, because you got the demon prince there. Absolutely. I am aware.
Here we go. All right, now with more dice, this is interesting. Can I still get that level of power in here? Well, a couple have gone off the board. Looks like
So you must re-roll those.
I will re-roll those. So we're just going to add these
And then
ones
you rolled
in.
one off the table
Rolled
completely.
one off the table.
Didn't you?
Yes. So I've got to watch my power levels, you see.
Yes.
Okay, so that was the extra one that went off the table. I've now got these 1s to re-roll, but we'll get rid of these 2s. So Lawrence, it's a pretty good roll so far.
Good. It's good.
Look,
I respect that. I mean, look, you're Blightlord Terminators. You should be doing
There we go.
good.
Okay, so... Oh, it looks like I've rolled 1 less dice. So I'm going to roll 1 more.
it's 'cause
I've only
you
got
had one off the
19
board.
here. Yes, because I had 1 off the board.
Yeah, but you re-rolled it. That's why. So it's correct.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. It's maths.
Yeah, we're here all week. Okay, here we go. So it's now 3s to wound you.
Yep.
Okay, not bad. So you've taken
Looks like 3, 6, 9.
9.
Okay.
Put your knickers on the line, Lawrence.
Okay. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay.
Yes.
Now I get 5+ in vulnerable saves. Let us do these 5+ in vulnerable saves. We pass 3 and we fail 5. So that is 5 mandrakes slain. And I've only rolled 8 dice here. And that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
That's the
6
unit
dead.
wiped.
The unit is wiped.
Yes! Oh, did you hear that crack?
Now into the proper shooting phase. The Defiler opens up, splitting his fire. The battle cannon firing at the rear Ravager and the twin laser cannon at this near Ravager here. I'm going to spend 1 CP, because that's what it costs now, for lightning fast reactions. I'm going to put that on this Ravager here, so it puts me down to 8 CP.
Very nice.
Okay. Which...
And that was the one I'm firing those laser cannons at,
That's
isn't
correct,
it?
yes.
Okay, are you ready?
Yep.
Here we go. Now look, I've been too powerful in the trough. I'm just
Yes.
going to fix that.
Yes.
Too much power. All right, so I'm going to get double 4 now. to hit you with my las cannons.
Laser cannons.
Oh, 5 and a 6, I'll take that.
Yeah.
It's now 3s to wound you, Lawrence.
It is.
Oh, it's because of the little bump there. It's 1 wound.
Okay, 1 wound is what he gets there. I make a save with my flicker field / night shield. We are the Drukhari.
Oh, just don't do it.
And we're back with the battle cannon. Bone has recovered from my taunting. Okay,
D6 shots.
D6 battle cannon shots. The battle cannon, 1 shot. 1
Now,
boomba.
I didn't use enough power on that roll.
1 boomba.
Because this is flat 3 damage, I am actually just going to re-roll the number of shots. Well, the rest of my weapons, this is the thing. So I've got the mortars are all D6 at this point. I can spend a stratagem to make one of them flat 3 damage, right?
Yeah,
but this guy already is flat 3 damage.
Sure.
So I'm going to do that.
Okay, so you're down to 4 CP.
I'm down to 4 CP.
So he's used the command reroll here. He's down to 4. He gets a 5. Now, it does pay off.
That does pay off.
It does pay off.
So I'm now hitting you on 3s.
That's right. This is a separate one. He's hit.
I've hit you
3 times.
3 times so far.
Off the
1
board.
off the board.
I don't know how you've managed to do that. Okay, so 3 hits.
What is this Troth of Doom?
Hoodoo.
Okay, very good.
So 3 hits.
So it's 3s to wound you.
3s to wound, strength 8. He's
2
got 2
wounds.
wounds.
So -2, they're flat 3 damage though.
Okay. Double 5s and 6s. No, I do fail both of those.
Okay.
So this would be 6 damage.
Yes, it would.
That's on the very rear Ravager.
Correct.
6 damage. That would bracket. Do I want to use? I will use a CP here.
Okay.
Because that forces some interesting. Yes, and that pays off perfectly. So he is not bracketed. He is more than happy.
Don't talk to me.
Okay. Garden time, Ben?
No, that's him shot.
Garden time.
Well, it's a lovely day out, but not quite.
We now come to the damage plague burst crawler. He is not quite bracketed yet. Needs 1 more wound gone.
Yeah, I thought it was, but no, it's a 6+.
Not quite.
That's
so
great.
He's going to be splitting fire. The entropy cannons will be going for the 9 wound Ravager.
Yes.
The mortar's going for the middle Ravager.
Yes, the
And
one that
then
doesn't have the...
Your sluggers in the front will be going for the mandrakes.
Mandrakes, yes.
Okay.
So we'll start with the mandrakes.
Sure, why not?
So it is 4s. 2 hits.
Okay.
2 wounds. 2 wounds.
4s, guys.
-1.
Sure, it's 4s, guys, because they're -1 to hit naturally, being mandrakes. Okay. I do fail both of those, so that is 2 mandrakes slain.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so now we'll go to the mortar. D6 shots. Oh, how am I going to do? What about something like this? No, it didn't work.
How do you miss the ball?
6 shots! Because I was just warming up, baby. So these are into the middle one.
Yep.
So it's 3s. Okay, 5 hits.
Very nice.
3s again. Okay, and it's a
2
plague
wounds.
weapon, so I can re-roll those ones.
Okay. That's
Okay.
3
3 wounds there. -2.
-2.
Yes,
Okay.
2 damage a pop.
-2. I do fail those.
6 damage.
Okay, so the middle one has lost 6 wounds.
Very nice.
Still okay on 5 wounds left.
Yep. And then the entropy cannons into your friend at the back.
Okay. We now come to the rear plague burst crawler, and another stratagem is being used, putting Bone down to 3.
Yes, disgusting force.
Okay, disgusting force.
So I'm going to split the fire again. There is a method to my madness. So the heavy slug will go into them. Entropy cannons will go into your middle one, and then the mortar will go into the rear one.
Okay.
The mortar is now flat damage 3.
Yes.
And then you can, if on a 4+, anyone within 6 of him takes a mortal wound.
Sure.
Afterwards, okay?
Okay.
So here we go. Let's start with heavy slugger.
Sluggers hitting on 4s.
3 hits.
Okay.
3 wounds, -1. I don't think it
wounds.
makes a difference for you.
No, they've got 5 up invons. I failed 2 though, so that will be another 2 mandrakes slain.
Very nice. Okay, let's move to the entropy cannon.
Okay.
So hitting you on 3. 2 hits that time. And that's 3s to wound. Okay, I failed both, but I can re-roll that because it is a plague weapon. So that is a wound.
Okay. Entropy cannon scores a wound. I do fail that save.
Okay, cool. So you've taken 3 damage as is.
Yep.
So on a 3, 4, 5, or 6, I kill him. Because you've got 5 wounds left on this middle one, right?
That's right.
Yes, okay.
Oh, because it's 3 plus D3, you mean?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I also have Dark Knight,
Yes.
Lawrence. Here we go.
No, you failed to kill him. This one here, still on 1 wound, frustrating. But now we are on to the mortar, firing at the 9 wound one.
D6 shots.
3 shots. Middle of the road.
That's all I need if everything goes well.
Middle of the road.
It hasn't gone well.
2 hits. 1 wound.
1 wound.
Okay. 1 wound. And a save. Cheeky. However, he was hit with the mortar. Despite me making the save, the stratagem does say any other units within 3 inches could take a mortal wound on a 4-up, so it could destroy the other Ravager.
I'm going to do it in style. It was always meant to be this way,
I
Lawrence.
see.
You see? Here we go.
You shouldn't have said that. What's
This list is actually good.
What?
Playing against you.
What? You're doing quite well.
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right.
Right, the next playback caller is splitting fire. The slugger into the 1 wound one, obviously just wants to try and plink that off, as well as the mortar to guarantee it, basically.
Yeah.
The 2 entropy cannons into the 9 wound one here. Okay, good luck.
He has 9 wounds.
Yeah, well, I mean, he would have had less, obviously, but I did use that CP to re-roll the save, which I got.
Unbelievable. Here we go. So, the slugger.
Be okay there, Poe?
Not really. 2 hits.
2 hits there, isn't it?
5s and 6s, no wounds.
Okay.
Okay.
The mortar.
Cool. The mortar. D6 shots.
These off the,
I'm trying different
off the
powers.
trough.
Okay,
It does
that's a
get
good
6.
one. That's a good one.
That was a good one.
6 on a 1 wound. Well, no, it's all right.
Okay.
Okay, I've hit with all of them.
Yeah,
this is going really well.
That's good. It's because he's got the 1 wound, right?
Of course, yeah, that makes sense. And I've also wounded with all of them.
Perfect.
In fact,
could you imagine if that had destroyed a fresh one? Perhaps you wouldn't.
I don't want to talk about it.
What's that?
Anyway, so yeah, save all that. 6. Yeah,
He's
it's
destroyed.
dead. Does he blow up?
I don't know.
That would be good.
No, he doesn't.
No? Okay, very good. Right, the 2 entropy cannons.
Okay.
Hitting you on 3.
Yes. 1 hit. Yeah. That is not an uncommon occurrence. You're not hitting on 2s. You do fatal wound on a 2. We'll move on.
Okay.
Should we move on?
Yeah, that's the end of my shooting phase.
Wow.
That was really bad.
Yeah. That brings us to the charge phase. Bone needs a bit of luck here.
Yeah.
He needs a 9.
A 9 to
the
get
Death
into
Shroud into the Mandrake unit, which is holding that objective.
Yes.
Okay.
Here we go.
Here we go. He needs a 9. He's got a
got
5.
5 so far.
That's a good start. It's a 5. 6,
It's a
7, 8,
9.
9. He does make that charge. That is very significant.
That is significant.
Because it will prevent me holding more primary than him. Unless...
Potentially.
Yeah, because unless you fail to kill enough. Because you've only got how many in that Death Shroud unit?
5.
Yeah,
4
so
attacks each.
you need to kill 6
Yeah, I'll do that.
to have more models.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be back in a minute. Couple of stratagems being used here in the fight phase.
Yes.
Vermid Whispers yet again, now this time for the Death Shroud, so that they can ignore the -1 for the Mandrakes to hit in combat. I then use lightning fast reactions to put a -1 back on them. So I'm on 6 CP, Bone is on 2.
Yes.
So he's back to hitting on 3s.
Yes,
So he normally
I am.
hit on 2.
But I'm using my scything attack, so each one gets 8 attack.
Yes.
So I'm going to do this bunch first,
Okay.
and if they're still alive, I'll do this next bunch.
Very good.
Okay, so hitting you on 3s. Oh. Yeah! You need to be rerolled. Yeah! Okay, let me move all of these misses. Your miss. It's a pretty good roll.
It's not bad. And then it's 2s to wound because of your
Yep,
contamination.
and I'll be rerolling 1s because these are plague weapons.
So I'm sure they are probably slain.
Okay, and then roll there. Okay, cool. So that is 5, 10, 15, 18 wounds.
Okay, so I've got 10 dice here. I pass 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, so 4 dead, plus another 4. Let's make 4 more saves here. So that's 8 dead, plus another 4. And that is the units wiped. Okay, Mandrakes slain. Still in the fight phase here, and now, of course, the Death Shroud consolidates into the Raider. I get to hit you. 3 attacks. All 3 hits, because we hit on 4s, Drukhari vehicles. And that is
6.
2 wounds, so -1, so 2 saves.
Okay, 3 ups.
We take a wound.
You take a wound.
So 1's on 1 wound remaining.
Yes.
Okay, very nice.
That's my turn.
That's your turn. So you do prevent me from holding that central objective. So for Vital Ground, I will not get the 2 points for that.
Nope.
But I will get 2 points for holding this one.
Yep.
Plus I'll hold 2 objectives. So I'll get 10 points for the primary as we go into my turn 2. I do have a morale check to make for the mandrakes over there. Okay, let's try that again. They do fail that morale, so I need to roll for the remaining 5. They're still over half strength, so... so 2 go. Okay, so cool. 2 more are slain, but they're still there holding that objective, doing their annoying little job.
Yes.
So as we go into my turn 2, let's see what I can do. Coming up next.
Turn 2 movement phase for the Drukhari is complete, and the spider has jumped out with Drazhar. It is Drazhar, right?
It is,
right?
yes.
The Incubi have come over to put some damage into these Death Shroud Terminators. Brave! Very brave. We'll have to see how that one plays out. We fell out of combat. It was this one, wasn't it?
Yep, I spent a CP on Cruel Deception, putting me down to 6, which means he can still shoot.
Which is nice, but before that, we jumped out with this unit here.
Yes.
We come over here, we've moved forward with the Mandrakes as well as this Raider. The 2 Ravagers have come around the corner over here, and that is it. We didn't fall back, but we moved back over here with these 2 Raiders. So, a pretty important turn.
It is. It's hard. It's very hard because if I don't crack the nut this turn, actually, if you sort of bounce with a Death Guard, then they just kill you, and that's it.
They can hurt you. It could be a big one. So wish the spider luck, or me, whoever you wish to have some luck, we'll take it. But we'll be back in the shooting phase. We start with the Raider, who's moved forward over here, firing its Dark Lance into the 6 wound Plague Burst Crawler.
Yes.
Okay, very good.
Okay. Is that the right decision? No one knows.
No one knows.
So I'm just thinking whether I go for the Ravager or the Raider first. The Raider would be nice. Yeah, let's do the Raider into that.
Okay.
Let's do it. That's a 2. Do I want to re-roll that? Given I have a lot more stuff incoming. Or do I want to save it for D3 damage? Let me have a think.
Okay. It is now time for the Ravager that lived. He is going to be firing everything into my Defiler here. So I will use Smoke Screen on him. I have 1 CP left.
1 CP left. Triple Dark Lance. 2 hits. Okay. 2 wound you, sir. Ooh. Right. Obsidian Rose. 1 wound.
1 wound.
And then the other one I will use to re-roll a wound. A CP.
Yeah,
So
sure.
1's a CP, 1's Obsidian Rose. Sorry, that wasn't clear. So
okay.
2 wounds.
2 wounds, okay.
Yes.
Double 5 and 6 though, Lawrence, unfortunately for you. No, not a single one. Okay.
You shouldn't say these things. You shouldn't say unfortunately for me. If you didn't, I bet you would pass.
I don't think that's how it works.
Okay. Okay, consistently not the average though with the damage, so that is a good thing for you.
But I've still taken 9 wounds.
You still have taken 6, 7, 8, and 9 wounds.
Yeah, I think you've done all right, buddy. Well done. This Raider here now will fire his Dark Lance over across the board into here. Obsidian Rose paying off again.
That's a
Does
miss.
miss on a 2.
The other Raider will do the same thing.
Okay.
Does hit.
Okay, very nice.
Obsidian Rose. Does wound.
Does wound. Okay, I'm due a 5 or a 6 here, so let's see how we go. No, it's a 1.
Okay. On a 5 or a 6, you are destroyed. Yep. You are destroyed.
Very good. Okay, him blowing up makes no difference, but he is dead.
Okay.
The second Ravager firing all of its lances into the
Vicious
wounds.
Battery. 1 hit.
1 hit there.
1 wound though.
The wound. Okay, so can I make a 5-up invulnerable save? I can't, for love nor money.
No matter, he says. Oh, I do get...
Destroy? No, he's got
because
one
minus
wound
one,
left.
you got one wound left.
Okay.
He's nearly destroyed.
He's nearly destroyed. The Mandrake's now looking to finish him off. Can they do it?
Fail blasts. They hit on
So
threes.
far. Just needs a single 6 here.
Single 6, and you are destroyed.
Yep,
you
there
are
he is.
destroyed.
Now, it does matter if he blows up. Let's see if it happens. On a 3, he does not, but that is a big blow. The Kabalite Warriors now firing everything into my Death Shroud here.
Yes, sir. Poison rifles.
Dum, 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 dum.
You must be poisoned.
Yes.
Okay. 4's the wound curse of poison. That is 2 wounds.
2 wounds.
Yes.
Okay. And it's -1 now, isn't it? Oh, no.
Not splinter cannons.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So looking for some 2s.
Cool.
Fine.
And then a blaster. No,
no.
blaster. No, it's a miss.
Okay, very good. The unit inside the Raider, again, firing into the Death Shroud.
Yes. Poison. Okay. Poison. 4 wounds this time.
Okay, not bad.
Not bad.
So, 2 up saves. No, you get 1.
1 is dead.
Okay,
and
very
then
good.
A blaster. Blaster. That is wound.
Does wound. Okay, 4 up invulnerable save.
No.
What do we reckon?
I don't mind. Reroll it, mate. Hard to say.
Yeah,
isn't
that one. That was a tough one.
it? Really hard to say what that was.
Okay, so it was meant to be a 5.
It was meant to be a 5. So 1 is dead. Cool.
Shooting next.
Yeah, so I've got 1 more unit inside. Well, I've actually got 2 more units inside
Yeah.
Raiders. So they will do the same thing.
Okay, very
So
good.
first of all, poison. Actually, I'll do blaster first this time.
Why not?
Misses, poison. They're all in rapid fire, so. Okay. 1 wound.
1 wound. Okay, 2 up save. Yes.
Cool. And then the next unit, blaster. Hits, blaster. Fails to wound, but Obsidian Rose.
Rose.
Wounds.
Wounds. Okay, very nice. Here we go.
Obsidian Rose.
Yep, make it on the 4+.
Okay.
Yeah.
4s. Or 3s rather. Poison here. You need to make another 4 saves, sir.
4 saves. Okay, very nice.
4 more saves. Death
4
by
more
1,000 cuts.
saves. 2s. Oh, there you go.
Okay.
2 1s.
So one's got
Ouchie,
1
ouchie.
wound
So one has
left.
1 wound left. Very good. Cut.
Good. All right, so.
All right, the unit inside here will be firing into the Death Shroud.
Yeah. So they're not in rapid fire range, even with the Obsidian Rose extra range, but we're going to try our luck. Poison first. Poison! No. Blaster. Hits. Blaster. Wounds.
Okay, needing a 4 up here.
A save or die.
Oh, 1 is killed.
He is slain. Okay.
It's, well, yes, 1 is killed. Okay,
Because,
cool.
well, D6 damage,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
you only got 1 wound left.
Yeah. Okay, cool, very good.
Okay,
Do you
we're
know
getting
your
through
shoe-
them.
Do you know what
Well, I've got 3 Raiders left, so you've only got 3 Death Shroud left.
Correct.
Okay, so that's fine. This Raider now will do a Dark Lance into the Blight Lord Terminators.
Okay.
Dark Lance misses. Another Raider misses. Another Raider, 3 for 3. No, 1 hit. To wounds. I have to reroll because it's off the board. Fails to wound, but Obsidian Rose. Wounds, because your toughness 5, right?
Yes, correct. Okay, looking for a 4 up invulnerable here. No, okay. fair
Kill a
enough.
Terminator based on that.
Unless you roll a 1, unless...
Because it's D3 plus 3, and you're 3 wounds.
Oh,
so
of course,
I
yeah,
rolls
it's
are-
D3 plus 3.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you were doing blasters. Yes,
No
1
problem.
Terminator is slain. Very good.
Okay.
All right, we're in the charge phase. Lawrence is elected to charge in with his Raider first because I do have a CP, and actually, if I was to overwatch with their pistols, that could be a problem for that Incubi.
It could actually.
Yeah.
So I charge with my Raider.
Yes.
It can't fail, I'm going to roll anyway.
Yeah.
In we
It's an
go.
8. Well done. And then the Incubi as well.
The Incubi now will charge as well. Again, they can't actually fail. I'll roll for this for posterity's sake. There we go.
7, the blessed number. Well, I'll need it.
All right.
I'll certainly need it. Okay, and a big charge this one, really. This Raider's going to be charging into this guy here, which means if he gets it, only needs a 7. If he gets it, I'll get no primary.
Yes.
And
This is the plan.
Yep.
This is the plan. This is the way. 4, 5, 6. I will use a CP to
I
roll.
would.
Because that would be... I get it on a 7.
Okay, very good.
Significant.
In you go. Okay, so yeah, that, I mean, for those of you who are more competitively minded, you can actually kind of see that that roll
was huge.
Probably, look, I'm still going to fight it out, but that with the points now, I'm going to be so far behind, and Lawrence would have to be incredibly unlucky for me to fight back at this point.
Yeah. Your counter now is to push this way and try and take this one back and then spread across this way.
Yeah. Which is going to be tough. It depends what happens with my Death Shroud, to be fair.
It does, yeah. There's another interesting fight.
Yeah, but, you know, anyway. Are the Mandrakes going to charge as well?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? On a 9, they'll get in as well.
Do they? Oh, I think they might as well.
Yeah, well, they weren't too far behind. Oh, no, they won't.
No, I actually needed a 10.
Yeah.
Actually, because I'm just under 11 away.
Well, so, that's something, maybe.
No reroll charge anymore, because the new Power from Pain is advancement charge.
Yeah.
So there we go. They hang out. Little party.
Hooray. You know? Okay, cool. So look, a very, very good shooting phase for Drukhari there, and an equally as good charge phase. Let's get into the 5 phase. We'll be right back. It is now the Incubi. So they get +1 to wound.
Yes, because they're within 6 of Drazhar.
Which is quite cool.
And they're also re-rolling 1s to hit because they're within 6 of the spider.
Yes, so they'd normally be wounding me on 5s and 6s, but they are wounding me on 4s.
And as a result, I will use the Demi-Clave's dual blade, so I get 2 extra attacks, because even though it's a lesser minus, you'd still get a 4-up invuln anyway with the bigger minus, and I'm still winning you on 4s with a +1. So basically, I get a lot of attacks.
Yeah.
Now, they're hitting on 2s.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, they are an exceptional unit for combat, and you're actually blunting them with the damage reduction. So against anything else, it'd be real frightening.
Yeah.
I guess I'll re-roll that because it's whatever. Right, we're re-rolling the 1s because the spider, that's a full house.
Very good.
Now it's 4s to wound, but 6s are damage 2.
Sure.
So we'll...
well, meaning, guys, that they're damage 3.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But
which would be damage 2 because you're...
Damage 2 because I'm Death Guard.
It's all very complicated.
Oh, very much so.
Okay, right, to wound you.
So 4s here.
Okay, so first of all, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 6s, which will be 2 damage.
Yep.
And then I'm going to remove these misses, failed wounds. Okay, so you have 3, 6, 9, 12 normal saves to make, which will take a wound a pop after your damage reduction. And then you've got 4 to save with damage 2.
So, and they're -3.
They're a combination of -3 and -2, but because you've got a 4-up invulnerable save, it doesn't matter. That's why I did it at the same time.
Sure, cool. Okay, very good. All right, well, look, we'll start with the 12 normal ones.
Okay, so 12 normal saves. 4s. Puts you in good stead.
I've got 1 off the table.
It's a good roll so far.
It's not bad. So 1's dead, 1's
on 1 wound.
1 wound remaining.
Okay.
Okay, and then I have 4.
4 at damage 2. And that wipes the unit.
So that kills 1. There was 3 left, and that kills 1. Yep, that's them killed. Okay,
Ouch.
very good. Right, so just a few attacks over here.
Okay, Raider. 1 hit.
1 hit.
We're not in battle round 3 yet, so 1 wound.
Okay, can I make a save? I can.
Yes, you can.
Very good. I'll hit you back. Why
Okay.
not? Hit you once. I do wound. No minus.
And I take a wound. Huzzah!
Very good. Cool.
Okay.
So yeah,
That was savage.
Yeah.
That was savage.
Yeah. Interesting one. I mean, when you get to this, we were talking about this off camera. When you kind of get to this level of competitive play, this is just how it, quite frankly, often goes. And it does highlight still, I think, how powerful first turn is in 9th.
Yeah, especially in this game.
Especially in this game, because...
if you had gone first, I'd lost 2 Ravagers, maybe 3, depending on the luck of the draw, but 2 would have been a fair estimate.
Yeah.
Which would have made a huge difference.
A huge difference. But, you know, that's not what happened. That's not what happened.
No. And there wasn't any way to hide. Like, people got... unless you want to say, well, do you want to light LOS blocking wall straight down the middle of the board, which is actually pretty much what we currently have.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's when something's this fast, it's quite hard to hide everything.
Yeah, I think Drukhari, you know, I honestly just seeing how these guys are playing at the moment, because it's the first time I've played them.
Yeah. They're really good. Obviously, this is a Ruth. This is now there are going to be people that say that's not very good. That's not competitive. This is pretty competitive, in my opinion. I would run this at a tournament fairly confidently that I could compete.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'd win the tournament. I'm just saying I could compete with it against a variety of opponents, right? But the Death Guard list is also competitive, very competitive. Now, lots of people say, oh, well, you haven't got Mortarion, so it's not competitive. Well, that's not true. You don't have to take Mortarion, and actually a lot of the top players don't, because Mortarion can sometimes be to your detriment, because you've got all of your points in this one basket. Granted, he's not that many points, and he's probably still worth it anyway, but you can argue taking other things instead of him. And this Death Guard, this is really good. It's a tough nut to crack, but I think we've seen the D3 plus 3 damage on those lances.
Yeah, it is just insane. It's so good.
Obsidian Rose, re-rolling the wound.
Yeah. Look, I really like the Defilers, but I'm also not sold on them. I think the toughness 7 and the fact that they don't get disgustingly resilient, I think the points can be better spent elsewhere.
Yeah.
I think
you could get Mortarion for those 3.
With some change.
For example.
Yeah,
and then more Terminators.
I mean, the list I kind of ran against the Flesh Terrors is probably more with a couple of tweaks.
Yeah.
The way that you're looking at running Death Guard at the moment.
Yeah,
but I wanted to try not using Mortarion. And like you said, if I'd gone first, it could have been a very different game.
Although, interestingly, if you had Mortarion and you had gone first, you wouldn't have had as much firepower.
Yeah. So
I wonder how that would work as well.
It's an interesting one because, a
funny one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Drukhari are a very, very good counter to Death Guard, though, because they're fast.
Yep.
Which is, Death Guard are once they get to mid-board, it's fine.
Yeah.
But they've got to get there first, which normally they do. That's not the problem.
Yep.
But also with you know, armies like Drukhari or Eldari, the fact that they can just outmaneuver and move around and skirt around the board, and you know, the Raider with the Dark Lance is only 85 points. It's cheap.
It's average to be good.
It's so good. And then you run them as Obsidian Rose. You get the extra range, so you just can't get out of range of them. Plus, you can get that reroll wound. They become incredibly effective. Yeah. Incredibly effective. Yeah. So, I think Raiders are great. I think
I prefer them to Venoms.
Yeah, me too. Just looking at this, they're just so good. And it's not. And the thing is, with this list, it's not like you don't have a bunch of anti-horde as well.
No, the 30 Mandrakes do that. We didn't. Not demonstrated in this game, but the Mandrakes are they've got great duality. Yeah. And plink off some wounds against high-value targets with a mortal wound you just saw there. And in combat, they've actually got 3 attacks each.
Yeah, which is crazy good.
They're really good. They mulch through hordes as well. But look, I'd say it's probably over, but it's not quite over. If you have some incredible luck, you could sweep along this flank.
Okay.
It's only because you've got 3 major assets and you've got an asset which can make me fight last.
Yeah, what I'm going to do now is just throw everything into you and hope for the best.
Yes.
But I will be very surprised if I can pull this off. But hey, stranger things have happened, right?
Let's play out your turn.
Why not?
Let's play it out.
We'll be back in my turn too in just a sec.
It's turn 2 for the Death Guards. It's a summary, believe it or not. The Blightlord Terminators have moved forward in between the Crater, supported by the Malignant Plague Caster and the Biologist Putrefier there. Over here, we have the Demon Prince, who has landed heavily inside that crater. Just over here in front of the Raider and the Warriors. Okay, fair enough. Meanwhile, over here, frustratingly, of course, this Plague Burst Crawler is in combat with the Raider.
But I'll get to use my strategy.
Yes, to shoot into combat, which is cool. Then he's got this Plague Burst Crawler, which is unaffected. Could use a strat on that to put the extra damage on and put shots into a Ravager or whatever. Okay, yeah, not looking great, but This is a summary. Let's see what he can do. Psychic phase is coming up. Should we go right into it?
Yeah, we'll do Curse of the Leper on these guys here.
Curse of the Leper on the Kabalite Warriors as they are the nearest to that prince.
Yes.
Here we go.
So needing 6. Goes off on a 9.
Goes off on a 9. I cannot deny.
So you're toughness 2 at the moment, right?
If you've just landed within contagion, yes.
Okay, very good. So 7. So I'm looking for 3s.
3s.
That's 7 there. Yeah, I don't know why I found that so hard to see. The unit is wiped.
The unit is slaughtered. I've lost the OBSEC units on there, and therefore I have lost that objective. So I will not be claiming that next turn.
No.
We now have the Malignant Plague Caster. He'll be casting what?
He's going to put Putrescent Vitality onto the Blight Lords here.
So that'll give them toughness 6.
Yeah.
Nasty stuff.
Needing a 7. It goes
that goes off.
10.
Okay.
Am I within 12 of your incubi? I am, so they take a mortal wound.
Nice, okay.
And then he'll put... It's weird, I really don't want them to take a mortal wound.
No, because I'll remove the closest model.
Well, which is closer? So you are actually, he's closer, to be fair, because his nose is going...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so...
Is it just one unit in the closest?
It's the closest unit within
Okay,
12.
well then the Raider takes a mortal wound. Easy peasy.
And then I'll put the -1 to hit on them as well. Why not? That goes off on a 7, so he takes another mortal wound.
Okay, cool. So full house for the Psychic.
Yep.
We'll go on to the shooting. That brings us to the shooting phase, and this Plague Burst Crawler, despite being in combat, will use the stratagem, putting Bone on 1 CP remaining, meaning he can fire into combat.
Yeah.
He's going to fire everything into the Raider except the Slugger. Just in case the Raider's destroyed, he'll put that into the Mandrakes.
Yeah, so this allows me to fire blast weapons, and it gives me a +1 as well to hit, which is nice. So let's start with the mortar, shall we? So D6 shots. 6.
Ouch.
Very nice.
Ouch.
Okay, so hitting you on 3s, because I do get the +1 to hit you as well. You are cocked. Fair enough. Okay. 4 hits. It's now 3s to wound, re-rolling any 1s because it is a plague weapon. Okay, can re-roll that. Very good. It's 4 wounds at -2.
4 wounds at -2.
Yes.
Okay. Now, battle round is 3? 2. Yes, still 2. So I get, I'll get 6 up saves in this instance. So 4 wounds, you say, yes?
Yes.
I save 1 and I fail 3, sir.
Well, doesn't he have a 5 up invulnerable?
So not
only -2.
Yeah. So they've got a 4 up save base. They've got a 5 up invulnerable against ranged weapons.
So
they've got a 6 up invulnerable in combat from turn 1. From turn 3, if I remember correctly, it does become 5 up.
So this is technically a ranged attack, though, isn't it? Because I'm shooting at you. I'm not fighting you.
Oh yes, that's a really good point.
Yeah. So you've made 3 saves. So
it feels like we're in combat because we are.
Yeah, but we're not.
We're not.
Okay, so you've taken 2, so you've rolled...
I've made 3 saves then.
Okay, very good.
Okay.
So you've got 7 wounds left to hit you. Do hit you twice with the entropy cannons, 3s to wound.
Only the 1?
He has to die.
Okay, because I've lost 2 wounds, that leaves me with 7.
Yeah, so it's impossible for me to kill you unless I wound you twice.
Gotcha.
You failed both saves. But then I don't have a reroll on the charge. That's real tough.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I trust. It's 7-inch charge.
It's the blessed number. You have to make it.
All right, I'm rerolling this.
Okay.
Okay.
It's got the wound. Okay. So you want me to fail both of these now?
Yes, please. Okay.
And make 1, I fail 1.
Very good. You take 5 damage.
5 damage, so plus the 2, 5, 6, 7, but he's still alive. Frustrating.
Yep.
Irritating like that. Blight Lords, though, we'll move on to them. We've got the combi bolters firing into the Raider there.
Yep. So hitting on 3.
Okay.
Rerolling the 1s because of the Demon Prince.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, got an extra 1 out of it. 5s and 6s.
Okay.
You're off.
Good wounds, 4, 5, 6
6
wounds. Okay, I've got 6 dice in my hands. No minus?
No minus.
Okay, so I lose 2 wounds because I've just got straight 4 up saves there,
Cool.
bringing me down to 6. This Plague Burst Crawler now, the final bit of shooting this turn. Firing into the 9 wound Ravager. I will put the lightning fast reactions on for 1 CP, bringing me down to 3. Cool. Bone will split his fire with using the Slugger into the Mandrakes, just in case.
Yeah, let's see what we can do. Okay, cool. So let's start with the Slugger. Feat you twice.
Yep.
I've wounded you twice.
Yes, sir. I have saved 1 and I've killed 1.
Okay, very good.
Okay.
Okay, the entropy cannon. So we'll be 4s. 2 hits though.
Very nice. Very nice.
Can we roll that one? It is a plague weapon.
Plague weapon.
2 wounds.
2 wounds. Very nice. I make 1. I fail 1. Is it the D3 plus 3?
Yes, it is.
Okay, well then I'll use the CP because nope. So it goes through. D3 plus 3.
So you've taken 5 wounds.
Okay, very nice.
4 left. So now D6 from the mortar. 3. All hit, triple
Well, that's
six.
nice.
Can we roll plague weapon?
3 wounds.
3 wounds at -2.
Cheeky.
Could be.
3 wounds here. I do fail all 3. There we go.
Dead.
He is destroyed. Does he blow up? Let us find out. No, but finally, Ravager destroyed.
Yay.
Final bit of shooting, sorry, forgive me. We have the Foul Blight Spawn. He will be firing at the Raider.
Yes, so D6
His,
automatic hits.
Spurt thing. 5
Right.
hits. Very
Nice.
good.
What's your toughness?
Toughness is 6 on a Raider these
so
days.
3 to wound you.
Yep.
Okay,
2
2
wounds.
wounds.
All right.
You'll be on your invulnerable save. They're 2 damage a pop.
2 wounds at 2 damage. I make 1, I fail 1.
Okay.
So he's got how many wounds left?
4.
Oof. The Blightlord Terminators.
Yes.
We're in the charge phase.
Yes.
Needing a 7 into the Incubi.
Let's see what we can do.
Mr.
The
Bone.
one's off. Okay. Ah, there it is. No rerolls available. That, at this point, is now done. Yeah, shame.
Don't you have a CP remaining?
No, because I used it to try and kill that, which was equally as important, but in a different way. So that's it, really. There's not much point.
We've got the Prince to charge as well.
Yeah. I mean,
but yeah, I mean, that's a blow because, I mean, the thing is, they charge you and you can make me fight last because you've got your guy there.
you can't though, because you've got...
I've got the Tormentor Helm and I could then make your Terminators fight last and then it will go into order of priority is my understanding.
Which would be if you charge me, it would be you.
Yes.
So...
The Tormentor Helm is not guaranteed though. I do need to roll over your leadership on 2d6.
Okay, well I am leadership 9.
Yeah, so not guaranteed by any fast stretch, but I've got another... I mean, you could charge your Prince into the Incubi.
Yeah, I may as well.
Assuming that you didn't have a requirement to charge the
well, I mean,
Raider.
the idea was you charge and then I kill the Raider as well. I mean, this should all be dead.
Yes, it should.
All right, so in that case...
Prince then?
Yeah, Prince will charge into both.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
On a 5, he will. And then I will charge you over here. So at least I can stop you holding that objective.
Yeah, sure, makes sense.
Or, well, rather, just so you won't get hold more.
Yep.
I mean, this stage doesn't really matter. On a 7.
That'll do it.
Yeah, that will do it.
Yep.
Cool.
That'll do it. All right, we'll let you move in and we'll be back. We're now in the fight phase, folks. The Prince has made it. I'm going to use my Tormentor Helm to try and make the Prince fight last. I do need an 11 on 2d6 though. 6, 7, 8, 9. Good efforts.
Yes.
Okay. You'll strike first, sir.
Yeah, so I'm going to split these attacks. I'll put 3 into your Raider here.
Yep.
And then I will put the other 3 and the Malefic Talon into them as well.
Okay then.
Okay, so we'll start off on the Raider.
Yep.
So hitting you on 2s. Will hit.
3 hits.
Winning you on 3s.
3
wounds.
wounds.
So,
6 up invons is what I
yes.
get, because these are genuine close combat attacks. I make 1, I fail 2.
Taking 6 damage.
He is destroyed.
Does he blow up?
Do I blow up?
Because that might help me.
No.
No.
Okay.
Okay, very good. So now I have 3 attacks on your Incubi with the sword.
2
Hit you
hits.
twice.
You can reroll ones. Oh no, you can't, because you're not cool. Yeah.
2s. 2 wounds.
Minus.
3.
Okay, so make 1 save, 1 is dead.
Okay, and then the claw hits, wounds, -2.
-2 this time. I do make that save. Okay, so you kill one incubi, you destroy a raider. The incubi now prepare their claves. Let's see what they can do. We're on to the incubi. Technically, the Plague Burst Crawler will fight first because he charged, but we're just going to do this because this is the fight and the Plague Burst Crawler is boring.
Yep.
So one of them isn't in engagement range, but is within 6 inches of the spider. And Drazhar for those buffs. So I'm just going to go full power attacks here. We're hitting on 2s. And we're re-rolling 1s with the spider. Okay, we're now wounding on 4s because of Drazhar. Okay, I'm going to roll this batch here. 6s will be 3 damage, and I'll roll this batch.
In the trough.
In the trough. One's off the board, of course. Okay, so you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 6s. Okay. Those will be 3 damage.
Yes.
But you do get disgusting resilience. So those will be 2 damage.
Okay, cool.
So you've got 4 saves to make there.
Alrighty. So do you want me to do them now?
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. What was the minus?
-3.
Okay, so I've taken 6 damage.
Okay, so 6 wounds, and then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 saves to make where they're just 1 damage. But these are also -3.
Okay. He
is dead. Although only just.
No, pretty.
Oh no, pretty.
Yeah, he's dead by like 3 wounds.
Okay. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
unless they've suddenly got. No, I know the answer to this. He had 8 wounds. So yeah, you did. There was 4 in there. So yeah.
It's 6 from the 2 damage alone. Oh no, I did. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's dead. He's dead by 2 wounds.
Okay. Well, let's pick.
See.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
Let's pick this stuff up and reassess.
Yeah.
Okay, look, we've had a look at it, guys. Yeah. It would be my turn 3 coming up next, but frankly, I've got 1 objective, 2 objectives. That's 10 points. Plus, yes, he holds this one, but he no longer holds this because the prince is dead.
Yeah, so you're holding.
So I hold more. So I get the max 15 points on that primary in turn 3, and then basically I've got all of this firepower to shoot those Terminators. Then I could charge with the Incubi if I wanted to, in addition, if there's any left at that point. The Plague Burst Crawlers, I could just stay in combat with. I move these Mandrakes here, so again, you're not able to do anything. I've shut you down.
Yep.
So unfortunately to say, guys, it would be a really, really boring thing to see play out.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry about that, genuinely, because we always hope to get like an epic 5-turn nail-biter.
Yeah.
But
I think this game.
This is the nature of these competitive games sometimes.
It was always going to be a bit like that.
Because this is what our league games will be like. We're going to be playing for, like, it's going to be a table. We're going to play ultra competitive lists. Some of the games are going to go 2 turns, 3 turns.
Yeah.
That's just the nature of if you take really tuned armies against each other.
Yeah.
Doesn't always happen. Sometimes it's amazing, but this was a matchup where I think. Yeah, I do think if you had gone first, we probably would still be playing.
Yeah. I think with that. Yeah, I think we'd still be playing.
Yeah. You still think that you would lose?
Yeah, I do. I think this list beats the Death Guard 7 times out of 10.
Is that a combination of the Dark Light and the board control?
Yeah, yeah.
The Dark Light seems to be the counter to that, your resilience you normally have, but I will also say I do feel you were a bit unlucky on your saves if we looked at the average over the course of the game. You probably deserved a couple more demon saves there.
Yeah, and I probably deserved to kill 2 Ravagers in that second turn.
Which would make a big difference.
And the thing is, everyone, yes, I was splitting the fire, but if you actually watch it back, I was doing the same as like putting an entire one into one, an entire one into another with some change.
Yeah.
And to only kill 1 was super unlucky.
Yeah.
So, you know, if anyone's like going, why are you splitting the fire? Watch it again. I wasn't just going off on this mad one. I did know what I was doing.
Yeah.
But look, if you, because I think Death Guard at the moment, everyone's like, they're so broken, they're unbeatable. Drukhari have arrived. Yeah. And I honestly think that they are an incredibly hard counter because they've got the firepower to shoot you off the board.
Yeah.
They've got the mobility as well to skirt around you. So things like your Terminators and stuff. Like I got lucky to get those Terminators in. Like a 9-inch charge wasn't,
for your Death Shroud? Yeah.
And the thing is as well, I mean, you probably didn't even need to come out that far if you didn't want to.
No.
And that's the thing. where Death Guard are really good is they hunker down on that mid board, and then it's like, okay, shift me. But with 15 Dark Light,
yeah, 15 Dark Lances.
It's just so good.
In Obsidian Rose, it's really good. I'm a bit surprised. I haven't seen anyone in the Drukhari community sort of mention them yet. They're all attached to the Realspace raid, which I completely get, and that's also very competitive and probably a little bit more balanced in some ways, because you've got witches, you've got Coven in there, you can get re-rolls then on your blades for hire. There's a whole bunch of cool things that you can do, which I will showcase for you guys another time when we got the racks painted. But if you're generally a purely Kabalite player like me, you get your combat in the Incubi, you get your combat in the Mandrakes. They're ultra reliable units in my opinion for their points, and the Raiders are just absolutely outstanding, and the Obsidian Rose is just crazy good because the range and the reroll wound is outstanding.
Because that's it. When you look at, you go, oh well, it's a single shot, but actually it's got 42-inch range. It's hitting on 3s the majority of the time. It's going to be wounding most vehicles on 3s or 4s.
But then it gets a reroll.
That single shot then becomes so efficient.
Like, and that's why I like the reroll wound as opposed to the reroll hit. Personally, as opposed to Blackheart. But I could run this as Blackheart, and it would still arguably be
very good.
Very good, if not as good, because it's got some different tricks.
But I think I would go for these guys for the reroll wound.
I like and the range. Because it makes the blasters 24-inch range then as well.
Exactly.
Which
and look,
it's really useful.
It's really good. So I think what I really like about this list, it can take on that like elite stuff, but also it's going to be able to take on, like we were talking about before, like horde style armies with all the attacks that you get. And you do have some splinter fire in there and stuff. It really has an answer for everything. It reminds me of Drukhari at the beginning of 8th. A little bit. When they first came out, they could do everything. And, but then they also, that was when you could have psychers that would come in. And you could also put reroll wounds on them. So
and it got a bit silly. Here's Jinx and Doom with my triple Ravager.
With my triple Ravager and you're just sitting there going, really? I mean, they I don't know. I'm trying to think of some armies which are a hard counter to this.
I still think you could win that if you went first, but I do think that you need to go first. That's a sucky thing. It shouldn't have to be that way.
But I mean, the thing is, Death Guard is still very, 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 very good.
Extremely good.
Actually, I think the list I've come up with, I might try it again when I'm playing a competitive game against another type of list.
Because this list, the Death Guard list, guys, is really, really good. It's frighteningly good. It's a bit of an unusual matchup, this one with the Drukhari. Now that the Drukhari have arrived, it's a bit like when I played my Flesh Tearers against you, and basically I bounced hard, and there wasn't really anything I could do. I think.
It's how you beat Death Guard. It's you just got to shoot them off objectives.
High quality, high damage fire.
Or just high rate of firepower. So Necrons are also a very good counter to Death Guard, depending on how you're building them. But
it's interesting. I mean, we've got the Mortarian possibility to swap out for the Defilers. I don't know if that would actually be better against this.
It's that's another another interesting one in itself, because I mean, yes, you do have a 4-up invulnerable. Yes, they'd all be wounding him on 4s. But if you don't go first, you don't have the -1 to hit him, for example. Then
I've just got 1 target to take on as opposed to 3 with the Defilers. Again, dude, if you were just a bit luckier on those saves, I mean, it sucks when there's a bit because the thing is, you just need the average luck in this, and in this sort of competitive matchup, you really need that.
And the thing is, actually, averagely, if you look at it, I probably rolled about 3 dice under, but the thing is, when you're getting shot at with the weapon, which is that unforgiving,
you can't afford that.
And don't get me wrong, I think these weapons should be like that.
Fluff-wise, they certainly should be.
Fluff-wise, they certainly should be, but also, if you're taking things like entropy cannons, or dark lancers, or I still think las cannons need something else. They need to be, if they don't want to make it flat 3 plus D3, they should be 2D3.
They should have been 2D3
or something
like that. I did try.
That.
I did ask in playtesting, but no.
But we didn't get that. But you
don't always get what you ask for, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think your list is really, really good, man. I think it's really, really good.
Well, thanks. I mean, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that was my hot competitive take on the Drukhari coming out of the boat. Obviously, we usually do sort of fun smash ups in our battle reports here, but we thought for a change, we'd show you a couple of really competitive lists.
Yeah.
And we will be doing these regularly. Every week, we'll be doing a league game. That series will start soon. We're representing all the factions across all of us, all the players. Bone, of course, will be commanding the Death Guard amongst his repertoire.
At this point, I'm kind of like, great.
Yeah, forget it.
Yeah. Not really, after that, I'm not really interested in playing Death Guard anymore.
But you know what? It's funny because I feel there's going to be some of these rock, paper, scissors matchups, I think, because I feel the same. I mean, with my Flesh Terrors, and I genuinely say this, I actually don't think I have a solution for Death Guards. I actually don't think I can beat a competitive Death Guard list unless I get very lucky with them. They're such a hard counter to assault armies. Having said that, I'll give it a red hot go. I've got some little ideas that might make it semi-interesting. But yeah, dude, I don't know.
Oh look, it's fine. I think it was a really good demonstration of what the Drukhari can do.
Yeah.
It was a demonstration of how Death Guard can crumble.
Yes.
Quite quickly, actually.
Yeah.
So they're not unbeatable.
No.
And I'm not sure Mortarion would have made any difference.
No, I'm not sure
either.
Sure I think you sort of need the fight. I mean, again, and I asked for this in playtesting as well. I thought the Defilers should have Disgustingly Resilient as well.
Yeah. Me too.
I actually said, why don't these demon engines have it? They should.
Yeah.
No. So, which again, you can ask, but you don't always get.
But I mean, at that point, I mean, yeah, sure. Then they would be more expensive, right? They'd be an extra 30 points more expensive with the current loadout I would do. But then at that point, this list is then it's crazy because there was a couple of times I probably would have had an extra Defiler around for an extra turn or something like that. But
it does make a difference.
It makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference.
Tough one. I don't know, guys. Why don't you let Bone know your thoughts from the Death Guard's perspective? Because I'm curious as well. Like maybe, I don't know, the little, because I'm thinking you need sort of firepower and you need multiple assets because you don't necessarily want me to put a full bristling barrage of Dark Lances into one high value target.
No.
Unless, of course, you get lucky and I don't kill him and then it could be a problem. But again, no, Bone, if you'd gone first.
Yeah.
If you'd gone first, I do think you could win this game. I do think you could win it comfortably.
It's one of those things. I think I have to go first, and then I think I'm a 7. I have a 3 out of 10 chance of winning.
Only 30%.
That's what I think. It's just because your elite units are so quick and so cheap, and I'm talking about your raiders here. I know they're transports, they're not elite units, but really the way that they play with the 5-up invulnerables and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But they have a normal 4-up save, right?
Got a normal 4-up save.
So I mean,
they're not that hard to kill, but they become hard to kill and overwhelming because you can take so many of them.
Yeah. And I think that's it.
That's kind of always been the Drukhari thing, or certainly how I've played it. You just overload, right?
Yeah.
And it's very effective. We've demonstrated that. So hopefully,
again.
Yeah. So
hopefully, always on me.
Sorry about that. Well, look. We'll give it another go. We'll tweak this Death Guard list. Maybe next time we rematch it and we tweak your list and we actually just go, you know what, just for curiosity's sake, we might just do this over on demand. We just give you first turn and we just go, look, assume you won the roll-off, just to see what will happen. These are the sorts of things we'll do in the league games because, you can. It becomes a competitive experiment then, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's an interesting one. I think that, I don't think the list...
You're not convinced with this list, are you?
No, but I'm not unconvinced.
No, well, I think the list is amazing. I think it looks really cool as well, the Death Guard.
Yeah.
But it would spank most things.
There's lots of armies that would really
Yeah, but this is a tricky matchup, this one. And this is my hot take against anything. This is what I would take. It doesn't matter whether it's Death Guard or not, because I feel it's balanced in terms of I've got anti-horde with mandrakes. I've got anti-horde with incubi. They carve, you know, I've got a lot of attacks. I've got a little bit of poison fire in there. Not much for Drukhari traditionally, but that dark light spam. Oh, D3 plus 3 damage. Yes, please.
So good.
Okay, well look, thank you for the game, Mr. Bone.
Yeah, no worries. I hope you guys enjoyed that.
Yeah, look, from a competitive point of view, we hope you enjoyed it. Sorry it wasn't a 5-turn nail biter, but
we had a nice discussion around it. It's good to see, you know, where things are sitting in the meta and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the answer is. And I think that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just you got to kind of go back and look at it. But
Terminator spam, where a single Dark Lance doesn't matter as much because it kills a Terminator as opposed to.
Yeah, I mean, we could try that.
I'm just sort of throwing things out there. Like, I wonder what 30 Blight Lords would look like. Do you see what I mean? Backed up with 3 Plague Burst Crawlers.
Yeah, maybe.
Because he got 4 up invons as well. I think you weirdly become more resilient to the Dark Lances that way than having Defilers.
You've got so much.
Yeah, and then you've got the bodies for the board to hold on to the objectives, and then maybe.
But the thing is, I'm not sure you. I don't think 30 Blight Lords.
How much is a unit of 5 Blight Lords?
200.
And the Defiler?
Defiler's 195.
Okay, so it's pretty much a straight swap out. If you dropped a Defiler, you'd have 10 Blight Lords, effectively.
5.
Yeah, but I mean, you'd add another 5 in to make a unit of 10, right?
Sure.
So you could go 3 units of 10 Blight Lords as a core, 3 Plague Burst Crawlers, and then the rest of the points in support units.
Yeah. I think if it was exactly the same, if you did a straight swap, I think you'd still be about 40 or 50 points over. But I mean, that's something that you can look at later. Maybe drop the Demon Prince at that point.
Shame though, because he's quite good.
He's quite good, but also you can there are some characters which can help these guys.
Buff things up.
Yeah.
All right.
Things to think about.
Well, look, let us know what you guys think.
Yeah.
Hopefully you enjoyed a little smattering of the Drukhari. If you didn't enjoy it because you think that they're horrible, that's fair enough. The Drukhari love that because they feed on your fear and hate. And if you're a Death Guard fan, let us know what you think. How are you going to crack this new Drukhari nut in the meta? Until next time, we've been Tabletop Tactics. Goodbye, Mr. Bone. Goodbye.